we're about to go into a Paladar here in Centro Habana, and it's called Paladar Genesis. It's one of the few that has air conditioning, and we have to cool off our cameras because they're overheating, so we're gonna go eat there. But a Paladar is basically a really small restaurant that is family owned, and as you know, in Cuba, big businesses aren't allowed, and so this is something that even just started just a couple years ago. But we're gonna go and have some real good Cuban food. So just kidding, the place was a little expensive and the AC wasn't as strong. Honestly, Cuba is really, really cheap. Usually you could find meals that are literally no more than $6 US. There's no reason why you should be paying $15 for literally anything. So we came to a different Paladar, and it's in one of the most beautiful plazas. Papi, ¿cómo se llama la plaza esta?
Plaza de la Catedral.
Ay, gracias. This is located in Plaza de la Catedral, which I'm so excited to show you because it is so beautiful and ancient, and there's music and there's a lot of people here. It's pretty touristy, but it's still gorgeous. And this place is refrigerated, which is nice. And it's actually called Esto no es un café, which translates into this is not a coffee shop. In this Paladar, we were able to find that it has some really great prices. Like I told you earlier, if there's ever a time that you're having to pay $12 to $15 for a meal, that should not be the case. And we found a place that charges you $4, and literally it's located in the best location. Time to get some food. So I just ordered a smoothie that was pineapple, papaya, and guava. And it is really good, guys. It is really refreshing. You can even taste some of the seeds in there. Really heavy in the guava flavor. And just like sweet, but not too sweet. It's seriously perfect, and especially when it's like 1,000 degrees outside, this is exactly what you need. Not just for your insides, but also to like put on your face, because it is so hot. Gracias. Wow. All right, Daniel.
I am so excited for this meal. Ooh, and the sweet plantains are coming. Gracias, señor. If only I could just take what I'm smelling and send it right to you, because good Lord, does this smell amazing. I ended up getting like some kind of shredded beef with like yuca on the side, and then we got servings of sweet plantain.
So that's called ropa vieja.
Oh, this is actually the ropa vieja?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, this is the ropa vieja. Didn't realize that. So take really seasoned beef and put it over like a slow cooked fire, and that's kind of what the smell, the aroma that you would get, and it really just falls apart. I'll see you later. I'm gonna take a minute with my food.
I, on the other hand, I got a sandwich. I've been trying to eat healthy because I've been a hot mess with my diet for the last few weeks. I think this is a chicken sandwich with just like tomatoes and lettuce and pickle and cucumber, and it tastes like a sandwich with pickle and chicken and tomatoes and lettuce.
Okay, I think I'm back from that spiritual encounter. But anyways, take the most savory meat you've ever had, throw it together in like a slow cooker back home, add some olives, onions, peppers that are like have been fried in it, dump it all in there, let it sit for like 12 hours. That's what this tastes like. Because my family's Cuban, Daniel and I have obviously, I mean, me my entire life, and especially Daniel in the last 5 years, we eat a lot of Cuban food. So I think that oftentimes we forget to tell you things that to us seem so normal, but is really typically Cuban. So for example, this meal right here, it's usually a side dish. It's called platanito maduro. And what it is, it's a sweet plantain that has been fried. My mom likes to make it when they're like basically rotted and molded, because that's when they're like really sweet and like, I don't want to say soupy, but like they fall apart and they're like this sweet goo in your mouth. But that's what they're like. And they don't really taste like bananas. They taste like plantains that are savory and sweet, and the best parts are the burnt parts, because they add like this little bit of that savory flavor mixed with the sweetness, and it's creamy on the inside. Really, really good. Must have if you come to Cuba. Also, the chips that are on my plate, they're called mariquitas. They're also made out of plantains, but they're cut really thin and then deep fried like chips. These taste a little bit more like bananas, but they are still made from plantains, and they're salty. They typically cover them in salt, and they're delicious. Also, touching on Daniel's meal,
This is ropa vieja. Ropa vieja, like he was saying, is a shredded beef. It has tomato sauce, very savory and delicious. But this right here is called yuca. It's a root that then they put it in a pressure cooker, and then they put mojo, which is this very bitter, salty, garlicky piece of love in a sauce that they drench all over it. And it's super typical side dish to have in Cuba. So guys, this is what you need to have. Come here, eat this. We have made it to Guanabacoa and we're at Reparto Valero. So fun fact, my maiden name is Valero, and the reason why this entire neighborhood is called that is because my great-grandfather was the first person to build a house here.
This trip is like a symbol of this town because it was growing here is about 200 years old. This is a symbol of this town. I grew up here. This was a farm from my grandfather. He bought this in 1946, and he saw the little pieces part and the people rebuilt this house. Now it's like a town. But I grew up here, walking around this town. I know everybody here. I lived in Miami for 32 years, but I know a lot of people that live in here still.
So back here is actually everywhere that my dad grew up on. So my grandfather lived here, my great-grandfather lived here, my dad grew up here. This is literally where he was born, where he was raised. And it's also where, once he met my mom, they built a house here. They built the second floor of a house here. So I'm about to show you that too.
Right, my older daughter born here in this town, in this village, and all my memories here.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really sweet.
Esta es Angelita, ¿no?
¿Quién es ella? La hija.
Coño, es igualita.
Aw.
¡Allá! ¡Allá!
So this is the house that my parents built. So back there, this staircase my dad built so he could build a second floor here when my sister was born. And now we're about to show you the backyard. So my dad just told me that apparently the river that was right behind the house, during times of a lot of rainstorms, it would get overflown and it would drown the house to where the people, everybody here, would have to swim into the house. Like the water would be by here and everybody's swimming inside the house to try and rescue their refrigerators, their washing machines, like everything that they possibly had, and they would end up losing everything. ¿Cuántas veces se pasaba, papi?
Oh, en mi vida pasó como 10 veces.
In his life, he says that happened to him over 10 times.
Yeah, the rainy season.
Rainy season's awful. That's why the houses have this like 1.5 to 2 foot like concrete barrier, but that oftentimes didn't help. There used to be a fence here before they put like these columns,
Mira.
and whenever it would rain, this would be flooded. And so my sister, when she was little, she'd play around in the flooded porch. So
From here to there, we made this house.
they made it with their own 2 hands. My dad would steal bricks from a local storage house and come and bring them here so he could build the
Este es el
house.
cuarto de tu mamá y mío.
This is
Esta
the
es la
room that they
sala.
built for her, my mom and my dad.
El baño este es está exactamente igual como nosotros lo dejamos.
Yeah.
El baño
Oh.
es
This
exactamente
is
igual.
exactly how the bathroom
Exactly.
was
Yo
when
le
he
puse
built
todo
it.
esto. Todo esto es exactamente igual como nosotros lo teníamos aquí. Aquí estaba el fregadero y de Ana se encargaba una cosa aquí y ella solo se jabonaba y tu mamá encontraba enjabonada con cara y todo. Aquí encargamos lo que tenía tu mamá. El baño es igual.
Aw.
Exactamente.
There used to be a sink back here where the washing machine was, where my older sister would apparently get into the sink, sudsy herself up, and wait for my mom to like
Y la
hose her down.
puerta es la misma.
And it's the same door and everything.
Y esta fue la cocina, mire.
So
Fíjame, sentí que fue la oficina más grande
Esta
ahora.
cocina la hice también.
My dad made this kitchen.
Ellos cambiaron esto aquí.
And then this is where my mom used to wash her clothes.
Todas esas instalaciones de tubería las hice yo mismo.
All of the piping my dad did.
I made it.
Y este también.
Sí, ese también. Sí.
This was original.